Reality is a lot more disappointing, and that's where we get to Fender's new certified pre-owned line. So I was about to record a video about the guitar world, the industry, and how it's changing very rapidly, and there are some things to be wary about. I have some concerns. And I was going to briefly talk on how, just a couple of weeks ago, Fender have launched a new certified pre-owned guitar line that they've got for sale. I was just going to briefly touch on it, but I looked more into it and I found some funny things. So we're going to talk about that today. It earned itself its own video.
What's the only thing better than scoring a new guitar? Getting a deal on a certified pre-owned Fender. Fender has partnered with Reverb for its first ever certified pre-owned shop, a certified pre-owned program that helps you get more instrument for your money, all fully backed by the world's leading guitar maker. Certified pre-owned means great value, with guitars priced competitively, sometimes even beating the average used market price. Certified pre-owned is professionally inspected, with free returns and a 1-year manufacturer warranty. Certified pre-owned is good for the community and gives guitars a second life, helping keep guitars in circulation with less resources used than building a new guitar. Save with confidence, play without limits, in the official Fender certified pre-owned shop.
Conceptually, I actually think it's a good idea. It makes a lot of sense, especially for big brands like Fender and Gibson, who've been around for so many years, and their core demographic is all about buying guitars that look like they're from the 50s. When you've been creating guitars that look like they're from the 50s since the 50s, the market is a little bit cluttered. It's very easy to be drawn into wanting a guitar and not paying full retail price. Just go to the second-hand market. There's ample instruments there. And at its core, it is a good business idea. I mean, how many people have an iPhone and Apple do the same refurbished iPhone thing? It's a good business tactic. And if done properly, it could work really, really well, because you don't have to necessarily just refurbish. Take a look at Gibson. They're taking their B-stock guitars and they're able to charge over the price of a standard guitar by modifying them, changing pickups, hardware, even paint. And if done correctly, you could really remove a lot of the competition off the second-hand market. Imagine a brand like Ibanez. If they bought up, or even did like a trade-in scheme on people's old Ibanezes, and then swirled them, I mean, those Ibanez official swirled RGs would sell like hotcakes. It would be amazing, and it would really remove a lot of the competition of the second-hand market from Ibanez's current range. But that's just fantasy. Reality is a lot more disappointing, and that's where we get to Fender's new certified pre-owned line. So this is Fender's official press release. I'll go over a little bit of it and then go back to the important points. Today, 3 industry leaders, Fender Musical Instrument Corp, Reverb, and MIRC, announced the launch of Fender's first ever certified pre-owned program. Fender Certified Pre-Owned on Reverb will allow musicians to purchase affordable instruments that are professionally inspected by MIRC and backed by a Fender 1-year limited warranty, while promoting the circular ecosystem of used music gear and supporting the growth of the industry through sought-after pre-owned musical instruments. They then go on to say that Reverb sales for used guitars have grown by more than 50% from 2019 to 2023. And while MIRC, which sells refurbished musical instruments as Franklin Guitar Works on Reverb, has grown into a top seller on Reverb over the past 2 years. This type of inventory not only allows price-conscious musicians to access music gear at a great value, but it also supports the industry, with many retailers recently telling the music trades that used is their most profitable category. Now that last paragraph was particularly interesting, and we're going to go back to a couple of points in it, but the last line there, talking about how retailers found used to be their most profitable, is kind of, I don't know, it's not great that Fender are kind of announcing that they also want a slice of that pie and they want to compete with their retailers, not only because they've already competing with their retailers in a retail space. Fender have launched their own physical store, at least in Japan. I wouldn't be surprised if there are going to be more planned. They're also competing online, but selling direct, so they're cutting out the dealers there. And now they're also trying to compete with their own dealers on the used market. There's a slice of the pie and then there's the whole pie, and it seems like Fender's going for the latter. I'm just going to read this half paragraph here, a little quote from Fender CEO Andy Mooney saying, "Increasingly, musicians show us that they're interested in pre-owned guitars. Fender Certified Pre-Owned allows them to own a quality instrument at an affordable price. We have a responsibility to deliver what musicians want and to give the guitars we've so carefully designed and crafted a second, third, or fourth life." Now, two things popped out from that quote to me. One was guitars at an affordable price, which we will be covering in just a moment. And the second, and maybe it's just the cynic in me, but giving a second life, a third life, a fourth life to the same guitar sounds an awful lot more like selling the same guitar 4 times. That's a serious profit for Fender in that particular business model. No wonder they're so excited. But there's some tomfoolery here with what we're actually talking about, because they're talking about pre-owned guitars, and when you talk about pre-owned guitars, you mostly think guitars owned by somebody else. That's not necessarily the case here. This is MIRC. They refurbish like B-stock guitars, factory seconds and such, from a couple of different brands, and then sell them on to retailers that are not necessarily dealers of brands. And there's two things in their FAQ that stood out to me. The first one is, where does MIRC get their inventory? MIRC partners with musical instrument manufacturers to refurbish stringed instruments. This can include overstock, discontinued, blemish, and end-of-life product, and in some cases instruments in need of repair. I have a guitar I want to sell. Will MIRC buy it? No. We partner with instrument manufacturers and do not purchase individual instruments from the general public. So two very important pieces of information there, because it comes across a little bit less that these are the pre-owned in the traditional sense, and much more in the sense that these are guitars that retailers weren't able to sell. They may have got dinged up in a showroom. They're demo units. They're B-stock, maybe factory seconds as well. Overstock, like it says. It's not really pre-owned in the traditional sense that you might think. And then that also makes me question the whole concept of second, third, fourth life. That implies several owners of the same guitar. That's not possible if they're not buying used guitars, I don't think. But in that press release, they mentioned Franklin Guitar Works. Franklin Guitar Works was the one that was selling these guitars, became a top reverb seller. And if you go on there, you can find that they have a lot of B-stock Fenders. EVHs, Charvels, Gretches, a lot of like Fender Musical Instrument Corporations, Jacksons. They also have some BC Riches, if I'm not mistaken. We could actually see. Yeah, BC Riches. And Seymour Duncan stuff, parts from guitars, I suppose. They've got a lot of guitars. But let's take a look at a Fender one from Franklin Guitar Works. This is a Fender Player Plus Meteora HH in Silverburst, and they've got a few pictures of it, and they've also got the serial number listed. It's 91235. It's $713.15, and they also mentioned that there's a slight ding on the back that they've repaired, and it's hard to see. But that's the price, $713.15. And this got me thinking, because this Fender Certified Pre-Owned program has come under fire for people saying, oh, it's just Fender making a quick buck, they're just upmarking it, the prices aren't that good. Well, this is the perfect chance to see just how much Fender are making on the upcharge. So this guitar, it's listed on the Franklin Guitar Works Reverb page. That's the MIRC's sale page on Reverb. That's the top seller that Fender were talking about in their press release, who they've teamed up with to sell these guitars, officially anyway, or certified them. This is $713, and the serial number, 91235. This is the Fender Certified serial number 91235, Fender Certified Pre-Owned Player Plus Meteora HH. And it's $889. Coincidentally, the description actually has less information in it, because they don't tell you that it's damaged. They don't tell you that there's a ding that was repaired. This is just the Fender Certified Pre-Owned. It's the exact same guitar. You can even look closely if you look at the pickguard scratches there in the film that's on the pickguard. Same scratches on the pickguard there as well. Same serial number, same everything, except the price. With Fender, it's $176 more than buying the exact same guitar, and I mean the exact same guitar. Not the same model, same guitar, from the same people. It's a 24.6% upcharge. That's how much Fender are making just for putting their name beside a guitar that they've already put their name on. Now, but you might say, KDH, you're not paying the 24.6% upcharge for just the Fender certification. You're paying for that 1 year of warranty. well, that isn't all that great either. If you really do appreciate the warranty and need that warranty, a Fender warranty lasts 2 years. Why not just buy a new Fender? Because Fender, like we were talking about, the CEO was talking about providing affordable guitars. Well, here's a Fender certified pre-owned, again, it's another Player Plus Meteora, and it's $889, and you get the 1-year warranty. Well, how about you buy it brand new for $894.47. That is a $5.50 difference for a brand new versus certified used, and 2-year warranty as opposed to 1 year's. Equally, the 2-year warranty is through Fender themselves rather than MIRC. It's actually kind of funny because of this certified by Fender thing, it doesn't even seem that Fender are doing the certifying. It's MIRC. They are certified by Fender to certify the Fenders rather than Fender certifying the Fenders. Fender don't really seem to have much to do with this at all, other than providing them the guitars, maybe? It's very confusing about how involved Fender are, but it doesn't seem by a lot. And equally, if we are shopping for used guitars, we could get a Fender Meteora for used $679 versus the Fender certified pre-owned $889. Honestly, I'm not really seeing how much value and affordability the Fender certified pre-ownership program is really providing here. Like I said, maybe if they were modifying it, doing what Gibson were doing, providing something that isn't already on the used market that you can actually directly compare to, that might have something there. But at the moment, the same people who are repairing these guitars and warrantying these guitars and selling these guitars are charging more for them because the Fender name is associated, and I'm not sure that's exactly great value for money, great affordability, or what was the word, circular economy or something. I don't know, but that's the Fender certified used program. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more stuff, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.